Right, gents, our friends over at Manscaped.com have been working their balls off so that you can take great care of your balls. Get it? Because of the testicles. What I'm talking about is the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. And in this Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, you'll also get the Lawnmower 5.0. It's the next generation trimmer with interchangeable blade heads for whatever shave your mind can imagine. A standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. We've also got the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Soother toner, the boxers, and the travel bag. Upgrade your grooming game to the Ultrasphere. So what more could you ask for at this time of year? Go to manscaped.com and use the code TRUE, that's TRUE, all block capitals, all one word, for 20% off and free shipping at checkout. But for now, enjoy the video. Testes, nads, sack. Welcome back to the Pain Game YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Now, after KSI and Tommy Fury fought on the Prime card to a decision, a lot of people were asking, what's next for KSI? Will he fight Jake Paul? People weren't really asking, what's Tommy Fury going to do now? And according to Tommy Fury, it was, sod this, I'm going back to the pros. I'm going to fight some real pro boxers. Well, how? Because you've just fought two YouTubers in Jake Paul and KSI for 14 rounds. And yet you got dropped once and didn't have either guy in any danger at all. Like, obviously, he won the fight, but it was no point was either guy looking like they were hurt or having a big problem with him. He did not look like he was above their level. He looked like he'd found his level. And that was not what we were told on the run-up by himself, by Big John. This was, we're going to smash through you. We're going to prove that what a pro boxer can do. And ultimately, all right, he won the fights, but he was proved to be talking absolute bollocks. Tommy Fury, despite having trained for probably 15 years longer than these two YouTube guys, wasn't really any better than them. So if he was to go back to the pro game and take on some real pro boxers, he gets smashed. So why are you talking about fighting pro boxers? I didn't say how old they would be though, did he? No, because it's 54-year-old Roy Jones Jr., who he's setting up a fight with. Does he not have any shame? Do you know what I mean? I know Roy Jones Jr. is a legend, but did we see Roy Jones's last fight? Christ almighty. Now, the mad thing was, Mike Tyson hadn't fought in about 15 years, and yet he looked sharper than Roy. Like, Mike was throwing the odd jab, but not really throwing too many headshots. Body shots were ripping in. And it felt like if he really unleashed properly on Roy's face, it would have been over in a couple of minutes. Roy is in no way fit to be going in the boxing ring, especially against a bloke 30 years younger than him, even if it is Tommy Fury. Now, I know the Furies will say anything to fit the narrative, and they're just trying to make an argument for why a fight should happen. The amount of bad arguments I've seen for why Chisora should fight Tyson and all of that, like, it's standard at this point. You don't take any notice of it because you know it's bollocks. But for Roy Jones Jr. to be in his 50s, and for you to actually take this fight, it's rock bottom for me. Your reputation, I thought, could not go any lower when two YouTubers gave you hell and back. And now you're gone over a 50-odd-year-old bloke who in his day would have knocked you out in half a minute. And look, I know paychecks are paychecks, but come on, man. Is this really the best you could muster? Fucking shit. He should be ashamed of himself, mate. And you know the funny thing is, we see Big John always doing the talk and getting involved in Tommy's fights and almost ready to fight the opponent for Tommy. This is the first fight where that should actually be happening. Big John should be the one fighting him. It shouldn't be Tommy. That would actually make some fucking sense. And look, maybe they're just going to move around, but like, why bother then? Oh, I want to share the ring with a legend. Get him to coach you. God knows you need it. This was where I think the thing initially happened.
So, what do you reckon, Tommy?
I said, if your father fight Mike, me and you do the co-main event.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it, bro. Honestly, let's arrange it.
If they fight, me and him be undercard, that'd be out of this world.
100%.
What weight we're talking about?
Cruiserweight. We fight both cruiserweight. I mean, he's bigger than me, but I'm about 220.
220?
Yeah. Really?
I got 200 deal.
200 deal.
No, nice to see you again, man.
Look, I know people are going to call me a hater, and I couldn't care less because honestly, I'm not. I actually think Tommy's a nice lad, and yeah, he slagged us off, but of course there was the back and forth between me and his brother, so he should slag us off. Fair enough, I don't give a fuck. But let's keep it real, because that's what I'm about here. The man tried to pick easy YouTuber fights. The lads were fit, strong lads. He couldn't do anything with them particularly, and now he's going to fight a 50-odd-year-old bloke. So let's just say what it is. You have no no ambition to ever do anything real in boxing. All this talk about world titles in the past, bollocks, mate. If you're on the hunt for a world title, you don't go and fight YouTubers and then fight a 50-odd-year-old bloke. You should be getting rounds in with contenders of your own level to grow as a fighter. You're not doing that. And honestly, you don't deserve to share the ring with Roy Jones Jr. You really don't. But it's another thing, yet another thing, that's been gifted to this lad just by being the brother of Tyson Fury and being on fucking Love Island. You know, one day, he might look back on his career, you know, when he is Roy Jones Jr.'s age and think, what if I'd really knuckled down and dedicated myself to actually trying to be a pro fighter and take this shit seriously and take on challenges? Because it's only with challenges can you actually grow. Maybe I could have actually done something instead of just sitting under my brother's shadow and cashing in on easy, well, what I thought were going to be easy fights and still not coming out looking good from it. At least if you fight a fucking contender and you lose, you'll get respect from the boxing world. And if you don't care about that and you just want to cash in, fine. Just shut the fuck up about being a pro fighter. Because the truth is, you're not fit to lace Roy Jr.'s fucking boots, mate. Even if you don't want to go to pro boxing, what about those misfits pro boxers? You know, there's a few of them there now who could give him an interesting match. Then you get that half influencer, half pro boxer thing. Maybe become a misfits professional champion, something like that. This is going to be embarrassing. And for me, it's embarrassing for boxing, but also, like, Roy Jones is a legend, and if he gets in there and we have an Evander Holyfield moment like the last time Evander Holyfield fought where Vitor Belfort hit him with one body shot and the man's resistance to punches was just gone, God bless him, because of the unbelievable career of work he's put in, and then a guy who shouldn't even be in the ring with you has a win over you? Is that really what anyone wants? You know, it makes you wonder, who the fuck's putting the money up for this? Because, you know, the Saudi events, it's well matched, a lot of it. Like, it's obviously a little bit one-sided at times, but it's competitive, it's exciting, there's intrigue. Who wants to see this? Real boxing fans don't. And Tommy Fury is doing everything he can to drag real boxing through the mud by being the real boxer who couldn't do shit against two YouTubers and now stepping in there with a legend of the game who he's not fit to lace the boots of. You know, people call me a fucking couch expert, which is fair enough. I've got no problem with it. But at least I'm not damaging the reputation of boxing. Roy is obviously taking it quite seriously by saying we're in talks. It's being negotiated. Tommy is inexperienced, and that's balanced out by my experience. And I'm 75% sure this happens. You know, there was the question of, is Jake Paul a pro after fighting Tommy Fury and losing? And yet you look at Jake Paul's next fight, Nate Diaz, who, you know, say what you want about him as a tough motherfucker. Then he's fighting a 10-1 pro boxer. Like, he is trying to go through the gears here. What the fuck is Tommy doing? So that's all I've got to say about that. It's a terrible shame to see such a legend of the game getting in there for this. I don't understand it. I don't want to see it. I don't think any real boxing fan wants to see it. Maybe only Big John would want to see this. But that's all I've got to say. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.